I have begun littering. Here is a good spot to do some littering. Here's another one. Ah, a nice big field. Plenty of room for me to litter. There is nothing quite like the feeling of throwing fresh garbage onto the ground. I know some people don't like it, but I don't see the big deal. No one gets hurt, and I get to easily dispose of my trash. It's really a win-win. Besides, mankind has been prevented from littering for so long, at this point, surely a little bit of littering wouldn't hurt the earth too much, right? But instead, littering is the forbidden fruit of modern life. We all want to do it, but we're afraid of getting fined $1,000. So instead, we place our garbage into the Orwellian method of control that is the garbage can, and then go back to playing on the computer, all without realizing that when we throw our garbage into the garbage can, what we're actually doing is throwing ourselves into a prison. Now, I realized this is no way to live, so I began littering. There are two questions I always get asked when I tell people that I have begun littering. The first is, what will I do if I get caught? Don't worry about me, I have a box cutter. The second is, what happens if an animal eats my litter? To them I say, good! Have you seen an animal's diet? A paper ball would be the most nutritious thing it eats all day. I've been littering for almost a month now, and I feel incredible. You see, at other points in my life, I've been combative, aggressive, looking for fights with men both small and large alike, waiting for the chance to turn someone's mouth into warm dental stew. But ever since I started littering, I've become calm. My smiles have increased, and so have my good thoughts. You just can't argue with the numbers. Littering is good for your mental health. Of course, there was this one time when a man took offense to my throwing garbage on his lawn. I had left my box cutter at home, and he chased me for what must have been hours, seeking vengeance for what I had done. But when he finally caught me, something incredible happened. I showed him the power of littering. Soon enough, he began littering too, and we littered together. Two enemies, bonded by our love of throwing trash on the ground. That is, of course, until we got into a fight about religion, and he left. I'll leave you with one final thought. In 1953, a group called Keep America Beautiful was formed, which still exists today. Incredibly well-funded, KAB soon began a massive media campaign to rail against littering. Within its first few years, KAB had statewide anti-litter campaigns planned or running in 32 states, and by the late 1950s, anti-litter ordinances were being passed all around the country. But what this group effectively did was divert attention onto individuals rather than the businesses producing the garbage. Instead, the litter bug became the real villain when in fact Keep America Beautiful was formed as a response to a single law passed by the Vermont State Legislature in 1953 that banned disposable glass bottles. The founders of KAB were a group of American businesses, including Coca-Cola and the Dixie Cup Company. The packaging industry saw this single law as a threat to their entire business model and wanted to reshape public opinion through Keep America Beautiful before more laws like these could spread. And so the modern anti-littering movement was born. Of course, I didn't know any of this before I started littering, but does that really matter? The point is, I seem like a pretty good guy now, don't I? Then again, I don't want to come off too cocky. After all, at the end of the day, I'm just a man throwing garbage on the ground. But I'm pretty goddamn good at it.